everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Dolphins going up against the Steelers. And with that, we'll send you up to the North Shore of Pittsburgh at Heinz Field by the Three Rivers as we head it over to our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On first down, it's Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Okay, the starters for the Miami Dolphins offensively. Charles, who are we highlighting?
Got to highlight Jay Ajayi, their running back. Came out of Boise State as a fifth-round pick, but most people had his talent much more like a second round. There were some medical concerns with the knee, but he can do it all. Run, catch, block. He's truly a three-down back.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. Time for the offensive starters now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a guy to watch out wide, Sammy Coates.
A slow start in his rookie season, only caught one pass in 2015. They're expecting much bigger things from him, trying to help out that offense. If he can get open, you know his quarterback will find him.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And caught, right side, Green. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And let's run through the Dolphins' defense.
Cameron Wake may have begun his career in Canada, but in the NFL, he's been one of the top pass rushers since he's entered the league.
And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. On third down, Roethlisberger. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep for Miami, the rookie Jakeem Grant. Taken in at the 22. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession. See if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And it's possible that today the most important group could be the linebackers.
Yeah, the second level, as we like to call them, right? Defensive front has to control things, but the linebackers, they do more than clean up. They help create big plays.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Tannehill now. They give to Ajayi.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
This is Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Drops it off to Ajayi. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. A gain of 8 and a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Here's Ajayi. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They run again with Ajayi. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And the seemingly endless drive continues. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting?
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jay Ajayi taking it in. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
3rd inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Looking deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now.
Oh, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They run with Ajayi. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. On second down, here's Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. That is caught at the 7. 22 yards on the pickup there. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism. Great.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure If something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That's caught inside the 20. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. See if they stay on the ground for second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Out of the gun, it's right. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rogers, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. And this one through the uprights and good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes Grant on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start out on the ground with a J. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They come up with 1 running back. That's Bell. And they'll give it to him here. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. And the defense searches for 1 more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Sammy Coates has it complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. and they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Completed pass, but the price you pay at the quarterback position, sometimes you have to take a lick.
Yeah, he took it on that one, and he paid the price, and happily, because he was able to complete it downfield. Excellent toughness in the pocket.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Tannehill. And this is Parker, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Now it's Ajayi, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
3rd and goal now. Ball on the 5. On the ground, this is Williams. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. So now here's the kicker, Andrew Franks, in a pressure spot. This to break our 4th quarter tie. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And now what they want to see here, he's still down on the field. Obviously such an important part of their passing game, and the training staff, they're going to have to attend to it. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he's got Rodgers. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He's back to throw. Finding time. Man open left side is Brown. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. One receiver right, that's Brown. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So now this game hinges on the right leg of Andrew Franks. This from 55 yards out. And that is no good. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They'll go again with Bell, and he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd down now following the run. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.